What makes you special? That's the topic for this evening. Welcome to another episode of Kampung Kid Live, where we talk about coconuts, universe, and everything else in between. And in the next 60 minutes, I'm going to take a look at this topic and whatever else that might come up as a process of in the process of answering the different questions that may come up. And what I will offer is a perspective, is an opinion, is a point of view from my reality box. Okay, so I'm Douglas Kampung Kid, live with you this evening, Thursday, for the next 60 minutes. And before I get into the first topic for the evening, let's see who is online. Okay, who's online? Hi. Teng In Nguyen, Tran Lei Yundo, good evening. Tran Bui, Tracy Nguyen, Tu Lei, Kaylee, Yun, Nei Nguyen. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope I got all your names correct. If not, I will do better next week. So good evening. Good evening, everyone. And let's take a look at the first question for the evening. What makes you special? Such a simple question. Such a simple question, and let's see how I'm going to break this down. Okay. So let's look at what special means. Okay, what's special? So special. Okay, so special. If we look at special, the definition of special is something that stands out, right? Something that stands out. Something that is has got qualities that are outstanding. Something that has that is different. Okay, from other things around it. Okay, in a way that makes it more valuable, more unique. And so what makes you? Okay, so what makes you, or what makes a human special? And that's a very difficult question to answer from that perspective, because to me, if we look at special from a point of different and unique, then everyone is different and unique. Okay, it is built into our DNA. Okay, we're all different and unique, and if we're all different and unique, and that makes us special, and if all of us are special, then special becomes normal. So I'll rather actually take a look at this from a different perspective. Okay, of what makes us unique. Okay, what makes us different? What makes us unique? And all of us are different and unique, and all of us are gifted in that different way. If we look at the biological perspective, okay, how our DNA is the basic building block, okay, that makes us who we are. Okay, so genetically we are already different. Okay, because the DNA, each of our DNA is unique. Okay, there's that actually from the building blocks we are already unique, even though we all look alike. Okay, even though we all look alike, right? Two eyes, nose, mouth, 2 ears, in the shape of a human. Okay, but no two people are alike, even physically. Not even identical twins. Okay, not even identical twins. They may look very, very similar to the point of not being able, for most of us, sometimes looking at identical twins, we may not be able to tell them apart. But there are intrinsic differences. Okay, even with identical twins. Okay, even though they look very, very alike. But what is this quality? Okay, what is this, or what are these qualities that make us different? Okay, so we're already coded, right? So we're already coded genetically in a unique way. And that uniqueness gives rise to a lot of other things, okay? To the way our brains are wired, to the way we interact with the world, to the things that we are motivated by, to the things that we value. And very frequently people ask as well, okay, so the who we are, okay, who I am as a person, Okay, is it shaped? Is it shaped? Okay, by nature or nurture? Okay, shaped by the genetics or shaped by the environment? And nobody can answer that. Okay, nobody can absolutely answer that because we can't know, because there is no real way of actually being able to determine. The first thing that we cannot determine is a person's experience. Okay, from the moment we are born, okay, even if all things equal, let's say all of us are equal. Okay, all of us are carbon copy, factory manufactured, okay, and then we are released to the world. Okay, even if that was the case, each of us from the moment of birth, okay, that means coming into existence in this physical reality, will already experience a different life. Okay, there are no two people. Okay, the biggest, easiest example I will give is this: there can be no two people who are born in the same precise moment, in the same precise place. There isn't. Okay, even if you have two people who are born at the same time, okay, they have to be seconds apart. And from that point of being born, they are already exposed to a different reality, which then continues through their life. Okay, they're exposed to different things, they're exposed to different people, they're exposed to everything around them. Okay, their relatives, their parents, the where they're growing up, their education system, okay, their friends, and everything else in between. Okay, all shape, all create a different experience. And as you go through, and as each of us go through our lives, okay, we will encounter different challenges. Okay, different challenges from learning how to walk, to learning how to talk, okay, to learning how to do the basic things, the things that work, the things that don't. Okay, touching the hot pot and feeling ouch, it's painful because it's hot. Okay, or taking our first steps and falling down and picking ourselves up again, and having our muscles develop differently because of different things that we do, okay, physically. Okay, every single moment of our life, we already have a different experience. There are no two people who will have an identical experience, okay, as they go through life. And so that to me already, okay, through this physical life, this physical life will already create a unique experience for each of us. And then now you throw in the genetics, you throw in the biology, you throw in the physicality, you throw in all the different ways we are wired and talented. Okay, then it becomes very, very complex, because the same event, okay, the same event that occurs, two people will respond to the event in a different way and get a different experience. Okay, and in responding to the events, okay, or going through the process of living life, okay, we will encounter different challenges, different obstacles, different whatever it is, and then we find different solutions, okay, because we process the events differently, we think about the events differently, we do the things that we need to do, we find solutions differently. Okay, so every single aspect of our life is already different. Okay, we think it is the same. Okay, but every single aspect of our life is already different. Then we go to school. Okay, then we go to school, which is fundamentally a factory producing a workforce. Okay, and in that factory, okay, in our current education system, okay, we need people to be predictable. We need people to learn the same knowledge, get the same skills, know how to use the same tools, in order to, at the end of that process, that 20 odd years, okay, at the end of that, get enough information, knowledge, skills, tools to be able to do a job. Okay, to be able to function in a certain way, to be able to create economic output in a certain way. And so through that process of 20 over years, okay, everybody is hammered, okay, pam, 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 hammered to be the same. Okay, and any uniqueness is taken away. Okay, we get penalized because we're different. We get punished because we ask too many questions. Okay, we are told to shut up and sit down because we talk too much. Okay, we are told to listen to the adults, listen to authority, okay, when we have different ideas. Okay, so for a large part of the growing up process, okay, we're hammered, shaped in a certain way, and we're expected to be the same. And so that creates a lot of struggle. That creates a lot of struggle between what we desire, what we feel we want to be, and what we need to be because that's what's expected of us. If we are out of line, okay, we are pushed back. Okay, if we are different, we are punished. Okay, if we do things differently, we are told that, hey, don't do that. Okay, go with the flow. So for a large part of our lives, okay, we're just being shaped in a way to be the same. And that so totally, to me, that so totally goes against who we are intended to be as human beings. Different and unique and creative and unpredictable and everything else in between. Okay, so our uniqueness is taken away. Uniqueness isn't a strength. Okay, uniqueness is something that is wrong with you. So what do you do with that? Okay, what do you do in an environment that tells you to be that you need to live your life a certain way, that tells you that you need to do a certain thing. Okay, that tells you what is right and what is wrong. That tells you what is expected of you. That tells you this is the way you need to live your life. And I get that it's very, very confusing. Okay, so I came back from Money and You 2 weeks ago, about a little bit less than 2 weeks ago, and so there was a bunch. Okay, so there was a group of participants at that Money and You who very young, beautiful, amazing individuals. Okay, people in their late teens, 20s, and maybe early 30s. And what I got so much was a group of people who so desperately wanted to break free and find and design their own lives that they wanted, okay, dreams that they had, but caught between an old world, okay, where there's an older generation, okay, that tells them who they need to be, that they're looking for approval and permission from, that they're looking for love from, the families who have a different reality box, parents who have a different reality box, who grew up in a different time, who had to do different things as they were growing up. So these young people are trapped, okay, with this older generation, and then this new world that is emerging, okay, that's full of possibilities and so rapidly changing with all the technology that's available today, the speed of which things happen, the exposure and access to information and knowledge, the access to people from all over the world, the access and exposure to different ideas, and them wanting to experience this new world, them wanting to create a different life from what their parents lived or have. They're caught in this struggle. Okay, then overlapping all this, okay, is the education system that they're going through, okay, where they're told, okay, or shaped a certain way. And I'm not saying this from a right or wrong perspective. Okay, it is just the way things are. Okay, that's this group of young people who are struggling to find their own voice, to be able to say what they want to say, to be able to, who want to find their own dreams and make their own mistakes, and learn their own lessons, but yet at the same time feel trapped by the past, the expectations of their parents, and the reality box that, to me, is fast becoming irrelevant. And so what happens when we are compelled? Okay, what happens when we are compelled or forced to do the things that we don't want to do? What happens when we have to live life a certain way that we don't believe in? What happens when we have dreams, but we are told that our dreams are silly? What happens when we have all these desires and we're told, no, just go with the flow because that's the way things are? Our spirit starts to die. Okay, we start to lose hope. Okay, and then life becomes mundane. Life becomes a chore. Okay, life becomes, what's the point? So to me, okay, each of us, every one of us are already special, being who we are. But we don't know how to express that because we don't have the tools to be able to say it. We don't have the language to be able to say, here's how I am different. We don't have the platform or the space or the environments to say what we feel. Okay, we don't have the people or communities or support, okay, to say, here's my dream. Is it okay for me to have my dream? Will you support me to have the dream that I want? Will you support me to have the dream that I desire? And for a lot of people, that space does not exist. So when we started doing this work, okay, when me and my team started doing what I call human potential work, okay, developing human potential, okay, to give people the voice, to let people know that they don't need permission or approval, okay, to be who they are. Okay, when we created the strengths quotient framework, to give people the language to be able to say that, hey, I am different because I am motivated by this and not that. I am different because whilst the world is doing this, okay, I don't agree with it and I'd rather be doing that. To give people the language and structure to be able to say that, hey, I have my own fears, I have my concerns, okay, and I have my the things I love, okay, and be okay with it. Okay, for people to actually say that, hey, I like to think a lot and not talk so much, and other people to say, yeah, I love to talk a lot and not think so much, okay, and everything else in between. For people to say that, hey, I love to plan, and other people who say that I love to do. Okay, and so we are all very, very different in the way that we are wired, that we are talented, that we're gifted. Okay, we just don't have the language to be able to actually say it. And when we don't have the language to say something, we cannot express ourselves, we cannot communicate, we cannot tell someone else, okay, what we desire. So to me, everyone is already unique. Okay, to me, everyone is already special. To me, everyone already has the gifts that they need to develop. Okay, everyone is already a master, being who they are. And to me, everyone, all we need to do, our only job in this lifetime is to be the best version of ourselves. But in order to be the best version of ourselves, we need to first know who we are. Because until we know who we are, until we have the language to be able to describe who we are, we cannot do anything about it. So what's the start? The start is to learn the language. The start is to become aware of the fact that each of us are already special. Because what a lot of people think, and that's me too, okay, before I started doing this work, was if there's something that's easy for me, if there's something that comes naturally to me, something that I can do without thinking too much because it's so easy, I automatically think that because it's easy for me, it's also easy for other people. But that's not true. What's easy for me? What's easy for me is easy for me because I am gifted that way. And that's what makes it easy for me. And just because it's easy for me does not mean that it's easy for someone else. But we fail to see that. And when we fail to see what's easy for me, when I fail to see what's easy for me is actually my talent, actually comes from what I already have and my talent and which are my talents and my gifts. Okay, I actually diminish who I am. I actually diminish how special I am. I actually diminish how unique I am. Okay, I play it down. And then when I can't do something, I beat myself up. And sometimes that something else, okay, it's not the thing that I'm designed to do. Okay, and then there are all sorts of expectations about what we need to be good at, when sometimes we are not, because we're just simply not gifted that way. And for all the things that we can't do, we are beaten up for it, and we are made wrong, and we are called stupid and failure. So the example I always say is this. Okay, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will always fail. It will always be a disaster. If you judge a monkey by its ability to swim in the ocean, okay, it will always fail. The monkey will climb the tree, the fish will swim in the ocean. Okay, and that's the thing that a lot of people fail to acknowledge and recognize about themselves. And then there are all these parents and all these environments who tell us who we need to be. And then they compare us against other people. Well, that person is so good at that, how come you're not as good? And then we continue, we beat ourselves up and other people beat us up too. So it's very sad. Okay, to me it's very sad because we're just creating a lot of struggle. Not because we want to, but because we don't know better. So how do you start? Take a look at what's easy. Okay, take a look at what's easy and acknowledge that that's where what we are talented with. Take a look at what we are good at, and that's what makes us special. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people can or cannot do. It really doesn't. Okay, the only thing that matters is how much we invest in ourselves, and education is key. How much we are willing to invest in ourselves to then bring what we are good at to the next level and the next level and the next level and the next level and the next level. Okay, our commitment to our mastery, our commitment to developing our level of excellence from what we are already gifted with. To me, that's our purpose in life. Okay, and then to bring these gifts, okay, to bring these amazing gifts, to bring this amazing mastery, okay, and create value for the world. Okay, and the other thing I will say is this. Okay, very frequently, I talk about struggle and obstacles and challenges that the universe gives to us. And when the universe gives challenges, obstacles, struggles, okay, I say thank you, say thank you. Because the challenges, the obstacles, and the challenges, obstacles, and struggles that we get are unique. And when the universe gives, okay, you cannot say no to the universe. You cannot say the gift from the universe. Say no, thank you. Cannot. You just have to say thank you. Okay, you have to say thank you. You cannot say no. And then when you get a gift, okay, only two things can happen: break down or break through. Okay, break down, nothing happens, because everything when we break down, everything stops. But when we break through, okay, when we break through the struggles, the challenges, and the obstacles that the universe gives to us, okay, we create unique solutions. We expand our reality box. We gain a new experience that nobody else can ever take away from us. Okay, and this unique experience that we have through this unique obstacle or challenge that we have, okay, the way that we've responded, the way that we've overcome is value that we can now create for someone else. And that's why I say that the struggles, challenges, and obstacles are gifts from the universe. Okay, it is gifted to us so that we can overcome them, which will expand our reality box, and then we can bring this to the world and make it a better place. Okay, so it is everything. It is everything about our lives. It is everything about who we are. We create from who we are. It is everything that we receive from the universe. It is every experience, every thought, every memory, every interaction, every encounter that we have in our lives that makes each of our lives so special, so unique. Because this uniqueness is built into our lives already. We need to acknowledge it. How to save a person wanting to die? It depends on why. It depends on why the person wants to die. Okay, I don't intend to. I don't intend to make this trivial. It also depends on our philosophy of life and what death means. So if I look at death, if I look at life, and if I look at death, so for a lot of people, we fear death because we don't know we don't know what happens, right? And then there are, of course, different religions and different philosophies, different worldviews about what happens after death. Then that shapes and these different philosophies, religions, and worldviews shape our definition of what death is. So if I just look at the definition of death, if I look at what death is to me, okay, from my perspective, when someone dies, okay, then I will lose that person. I will lose that person, and that person cease to exist. Okay, the physical person cease to exist. And from my perspective, if someone that I love, then when the person ceases to exist, then I will feel, if I need that person, that this person is now no longer available in my life. And so I won't want someone to die. Okay, I won't want someone to die. Okay, I didn't want my grandmother to die. Okay, because she was the person who raised me, and I grew up with her, and I spent so many years with her. She was the person that I went to when I had things that I wanted to talk about. Okay, she was the person that I felt that when I was lost, that when I went to her, okay, she would be my home and my sanctuary. Okay, and if she's my home and she's my sanctuary and she's the person that I would go to, she's the person whom I loved so much growing up, I didn't want her to die, right? Okay, I wanted her to live forever and ever and ever. So when she died, that part of me, that part was gone. Okay, that sanctuary, that home to go to was gone, and when I needed someone to talk to, no longer there, right? And so I didn't like death. Okay, I didn't like death in that way because to me, death takes away what matters to me. Okay, then in between all that, I've lost other people. I've lost my dad. Okay, I also lost my mom. I didn't know my mom, so I never knew my mom. My mom passed away when I was 3 months old, so I never knew my mom. So I didn't have an experience. So I didn't know. I didn't miss anything. Okay, but in between, I lost other people. Okay, I've also lost my dogs. Okay, that provided some form of comfort and companionship to me. So I didn't like death. I didn't like death because it meant something ended. For a very long time, I didn't like death. But through the years, I started to develop a different relationship. I started to ask different questions about what death is. I started to get different awareness. And maybe to me right now, maybe death is just a transition. Okay, death is just a transition between this physical world that we have to a different reality. Okay, so death is not losing something. It may be a transition, okay, between this lifetime and the next, and we don't truly lose anyone. Okay, and when I see that perspective, my what I feel of my relationship with death, okay, changed. Okay, so that's death. And then why do people want to die? Okay, why do people want to die? Okay, some people want to die because it is it's too painful. Okay, it's too painful to continue living. Okay, and I've seen people go through that. Okay, I've got relatives, my uncles and aunties, okay, who became whose state of health, okay, rendered them okay, made it very difficult for them to continue living. Okay, they were immobilized, they were in pain, and death would be a release for that pain. Okay, of course we can't take lives, right? Okay, where we are, we can't take lives. We cannot kill people. But to me, seeing the people I love so much in so much pain became more difficult than letting them go. Okay, and sometimes people hang on for the living, even though they're in so much pain. So there are points when we tell them it is okay, it is okay to go. It is okay to go, and then they go. Okay, and the pain stops. Okay, and to me right now, what I see is that they have transitioned to the next stage of life. Okay, we tend to think, we tend to think that life is just here. Okay, what makes us think so? Okay, then of course there are people who think that there's heaven and hell. You know, you say you if you do good things in life and then you go to heaven, and then everybody else goes to hell. Okay, I don't believe in that. I believe that everybody goes to heaven. Okay, and I don't. Okay, actually I don't believe there's heaven or hell. Okay, heaven or hell is really a state of who we are that we create. Okay, I believe that there's no punishment. Okay, we are all in this life to get an experience, and then when we are done with this life, okay, then it's time to get on to the next. Okay, so there are reasons that people want to die because they're suffering, they're in so much pain, and I will not want to save them. Because if I stop that, then I'm being very selfish because I'm doing it for me and not for them. I want to hang on to them, okay, despite the pain that they're going through. And sometimes I need to let go for them to be able to stop the pain. Okay, then of course the other group of people who for very ridiculous reasons, okay, when things are not working out, when they're experiencing pressure, young kids who are experiencing a lot of stress and judgment about for who they need to be, the lives they need to lead, okay, that they don't want. Okay, people who are struggling to create a life when everything seems to be so difficult and impossible, that death seems to be an easier option. People who are experiencing not physical pain in that sense, but experiencing so many challenges in their life, okay, that and they feel so buried with all these obstacles, so overwhelmed with all these obstacles, they don't see a way out. And they may feel that that death is the only option that they have. And to these people, I will say there are other possibilities. Okay, because these are the people who need to see that they have hope. Okay, these are the people who need to see that death is not a solution. Okay, these are the people who need the most love and compassion and understanding. These are people who need to be able to believe that life is worth living. Okay, there isn't one way. Okay, I will not say that there's one way to handle this. Okay, there are professionals that are trained, okay, with the necessary knowledge, tools, and skills to work with these people who no longer see hope. Okay, who feel that death is the only way out. And if you encounter people like that, okay, get help. Okay, get professional help, because we may, unless you're equipped with the necessary knowledge, skills, and tools to be able to work with people going through this pain, which for most of us we may not even be able to understand. Okay, because we can't see their reality box, we can't see the struggles that they went through, we can't see the experiences that they've had. Okay, we have not walked their journey in life. So we may not be equipped, okay, to support them in a way that they need. And if you can't, look for professional help. Okay, you know, if you if you Google how to die, if you Google how to die, okay, you know what you will get. You will get a phone number, okay, to call. Okay, someone to speak to. Okay, and if you see someone, okay, if you see someone who is considering taking their life, who is considering death, go and look for this. Just go and Google how to die. You get the number. Call that person and call that number. Get the support, okay, and get help to this person who is considering death. Okay, but anything else in between, if somebody is considering dying, okay, but not at the point of actually doing something yet, more often than not, it is a cry for help. Okay, it's a desperate cry for people to say, hey, I'm having a tough time and I need some help. Okay, don't take it lightly. Okay, don't judge. Okay, because we have no idea. Okay, don't scold don't scold the person. Don't scold the person, because the person is in pain. But it is a cry for help. Okay, heed that cry for help, and depending on how serious that cry for help is, okay, get help. Kaylee, what makes TikTok algorithm different? I don't know. Okay, honestly, I don't know. Because I have not studied it. I don't know the mechanics behind the TikTok algorithm. Okay, but the things that I will consider. Okay, the things, as a technology person, the things I will consider is TikTok as a business. Okay, what do they need? Okay, what do they need to be profitable? Okay, what do they need to be profitable? And what is their business about? Okay, and if I look at that generically, it is how they get their eyeballs. Okay, because that's what they need. Okay, so I can talk about it generically. Okay, how it is different from other platforms. I don't know because I've not studied it. Okay, I don't teach it. I'm not a subject matter expert in that perspective. Okay. Do I know who knows the truth? Actually, I don't. Okay. Actually, I don't. Okay. So to me, the only way, there are experts. Okay. There are people who are experts who say that they're experts. Okay, in this, then it's a matter of finding out and testing. Okay, to see what works. That's the best answer that I can give to you. Okay, because I'm not a subject matter expert. Okay, on TikTok algorithm. How to make hybrid work better for everyone? What is better? What's better? What's worse? What's hybrid work? Okay, so I'm assuming hybrid work uh, is sometimes going to the office and sometimes not. Okay, sometimes I think the terms that the Vietnamese use are also a little bit different. I realized that in Vietnam, what we know as Airbnb, okay, what we know as Airbnb generally across the world, in certain countries we call that co-working or co-living, and then in Vietnam it's called homestay. Okay, so the terms vary a little bit. But if I look at hybrid work and I make an assumption, okay, if I make an assumption that it is working from home plus working from the office as hybrid work, how do you make that better for everyone? Depends on the nature of the work. Okay, so it's very difficult to answer that I lost the word in a general sense. Okay, it's very difficult to answer that from a very very general perspective, because it also depends on the nature of work. Okay, what's the nature of work? Okay, there's work that requires a lot of equipment that needs to be utilized. Okay, that specialized equipment that you need to be in that location. Okay, where the equipment is installed to be able to do the work, and then hybrid work becomes quite impossible. Okay, and then of course there's the type of work where you don't need anything at all except a computer and internet connection, and you can actually operate from anywhere and you don't need to go to the office at all. Okay, so these are two extremes. Okay, but there are certain types of work, okay, where you need to interact, okay, with people in a common environment, and the rest of the time you can pretty much operate on your own. Okay, so it depends on the nature of the work. Okay, not all types of work, hybrid work is possible. So I will look at what I will actually look at what's required, right? I will look at what's required and create structures and systems that support people in being able to deliver the work that is required. Okay, so much that some hybrid work, okay, sometimes hybrid work is required because you have management. Okay, you have management who are very old school, who believe that they need to see people work. They need to see people work, okay, to believe that they're working. Okay, and if they don't see you work, okay, they don't see you at the office doing work, okay, and they don't have very low trust, okay, very low trust. They don't know what you're doing at home. So there's still environments like that. Okay, but if I look into the future, okay, with the emergence of technology and emergence of a lot of things that's happening, I will look at what humans need. Okay, I will look at what humans need to be effective. I will look at what humans need to be able to leverage, to be more efficient. Okay, to allow them to do the things they need to do in the most optimal manner. Okay, if there's no need, okay, to be physically present somewhere, okay, and you have all the resources that you need to do the type of work that you need to do, okay, over the internet, computer, then that may be most efficient because it saves a lot of time and resources. Okay, traveling to the office and coming back, and then we actually save the environment because we actually cut down on all the emissions, okay, of all the vehicles, okay, going to work and back, okay, and the time saving is significant, okay. If and on average, people spend half an hour and 30 minutes to an hour commuting to work and then getting back. Okay, that's 2 hours a day. That's 10 hours a week. That's 40 hours a month, and 40 hours a month can be significant in doing something else. Okay, it can be significant. The 2 hours a day you can spend going to doing workouts. Okay, that improve your general health. Okay, to be able to be a more efficient human being. Okay, so it's creating work in such a way that's optimal for the human. Okay, if you need to interact with people, then optimize the interactions. Okay, can it be done online? Okay, through apps like Zoom or otherwise, or do you really need the physical meeting? Okay, do you need to travel so much? Okay, so all these considerations. Okay, but fundamentally to me, okay, making it better for people is doing more with less, optimizing, okay, the structures to allow the human to operate better, okay, to be happier, okay, to be able to have more freedom, okay, to create a higher trust environment, okay, that focuses on value created instead of time spent. Because a lot of our work is still based on time spent, okay, that you need to do work between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., okay, or whatever your working hours are. Okay, even if you can complete it earlier or complete it in less time, okay, that's still your obligation to do work within that time span, that time duration, or that time frame. So it may require a shift, okay, to value created. Okay, if you can create that value, okay, in 2 hours instead of 8, then that's the value created instead of the time spent. Okay, and then the rest of the time you're free to do other things. Okay, so but it requires fundamental shifts in management, fundamental shifts in how businesses think. Okay, to be able to create leverage, to be able to create better environments, in order to be able to create systems and structures that support human beings becoming more optimal in how they operate. Okay, and then of course there's a big picture. If we bring it down to the different functions, to different roles, to different businesses, to different things, and then you take in consideration the emergence of technology, how we leverage technology to be able to do things that humans no longer need to do, like for example AI, okay, or to increase the value created. Then we need to adopt technology, okay, that works, okay, that helps humans be better, okay, and not help humans work harder. Okay, we don't need to work harder. We need to live better. Okay, is there a fast way to? Tough question. I think there are a lot of forces at play. There are a lot of businesses that are built around the current infrastructure and systems that are driven by current energy sources. We have had the technology for a very long time, okay, to be able to tap on, to harness energy from the sun, from the air, from the water. We have all this technology, okay, and we have the brains, okay, with the brains to be able to develop this and take this to the next level. But we don't have the business or political will, because in order to switch, businesses need to switch. Okay, and if you look at the wealthy businesses around the world, okay, you look at fossil fuels, you look at oil, okay, it is political, economical, and also business all put together. Okay, and that structure is very hard to change. Okay, it's very, very hard to change. Okay, to be able to shift all that focus, shift all that money, change all the infrastructures, change all the means of generating profits. Because if you look at it, okay, what's driving the world's energy today? Okay, it's fossil fuels. Okay, and how are this and there are businesses, okay, there are businesses that are making lots and lots of money, okay, from fossil fuels. Okay, for them to throw away all that, okay, their assets, okay, to be able to then develop alternative energy sources, is a tough thing. Okay, because sunlight is free. Sunlight is free. Okay, air is free. Okay, you need to, okay, all they need to put work into to extract, okay, and do all sorts of things. So is there a simple, fast way? There needs to be a lot of changes in the environment. There needs to be a lot of changes and enough political will, okay, to say that, hey, we need to shift. Okay, political will comes from what? Political will comes from the people. Okay, but the people are not driving it enough. Okay, it's starting to shift, right? It's starting to shift a lot. Okay, because we're starting to see that things are not working. But if we want to accelerate this, then things need to happen faster. Okay, and more and what is the bottleneck right now to me? Okay, what the bottleneck right now is political will, the economics, and the businesses behind it. Okay, so it's a big task. Okay, it's an extremely big task. Okay, to be able to shift. If you can do that, maybe sooner we will get cleaner energy. Okay. Why does the rich always feel alone although they have everything in their life? What makes you think they have everything in their lives? What makes you think they have everything in their lives? They have money, right? Okay, if I'm assuming the definition of rich are people who have a lot of money, okay, so they have a lot of money. Is that everything in their life? I don't think so. Money can buy a lot of things. There are even more things that money cannot buy. Okay, so here's where, okay, so in the program that I run, that's called the Resilience Blueprint, and another program that we're going to introduce soon, Introduction to the Ikigai Zone, I talk about the 9 wealth dimensions, okay, which is my view of what wealth is, holistic wealth. And holistic wealth, okay, so what are the 9 wealth dimensions? Cultural wealth, community wealth, environmental wealth, economic wealth, emotional wealth, intellectual wealth, physical wealth, spiritual wealth, vocational wealth. Okay, so these are the 9 dimensions or the 9 areas or 9 aspects of wealth to me that are important, that is about everything that contributes to my human experience. That whilst for each of us, each of these dimensions or our focus on each of these dimensions may be different, but they are important nevertheless. Okay, so imagine imagine that when you come into this lifetime, you get nine plots of land. Okay, 9 plots of land to grow different types of crop. Okay, and each of these 9 plots of land, you can only grow a certain type of crop plants. Okay, and you need to grow them. Okay, what you choose to grow may be different, but there are different types of plants that you can grow on each of these 9 plots of land, which are the 9 dimensions of wealth. Okay, economic wealth or money, cash, okay, falls into the area or the dimension that I call economic wealth. Okay, which is creating exchange, and as a result of creating exchange and creating value, okay, cash is generated. Okay, and this cash can be utilized to buy things. Okay, but there's only one aspect of wealth. Okay, the other 9 aspects of wealth. Cultural wealth is about where we come from. Okay, our heritage, our culture. Okay, community wealth is about our relationships. Okay, the people around us, our friends, our family, and everything else in between. Environmental wealth is about the environment around us. Okay, the environments that we live in, the environments that we create. Emotional wealth is about the state of our emotions. Economic wealth, of course, is about generating cash. Intellectual wealth is the wealth of our intellectual capacity. Spiritual wealth, okay, is about meaning and fulfillment. Okay, finding meaning and fulfillment in our lives. Physical wealth is about our body. Okay, taking care of our physicality. Vocational wealth is about who we are. Okay, who we are and what we are passionate about and what we do if it wasn't about earning a living. Okay, so to me, these are all the 9 dimensions of wealth. Okay, to me, these are all important areas that we need to develop. Okay, so what's the point? Okay, what's the point of having a lot of cash? Okay, if I've developed that plot of land, economic wealth that helps me generate cash, but I have neglected everything else. Okay, I don't care about my heritage. Okay, I don't care about my culture. Okay, I have not I've not developed my relationship, so I don't have a lot of friends. Okay, I don't have a lot of people that I trust. Okay, my relationship with my family or business associates, okay, are not great. Okay, I've not taken into consideration or have placed importance in the environment that I live in. I've not taken care of my body. I don't do what I'm passionate about. Okay, so I've not developed all these other plots of land. Okay, there are 9 plots. And if I've only developed one, which is economic, and get lots of cash. Okay, so I'm very rich, right? So I'm very rich from that perspective because I've developed this plot so much, I've neglected all the other 8 plots. Okay, so you're rich. Do you have everything in your life? No. You only have like 1/9. Okay, 1/9 is what? 11%. 12%, okay, of the entire wealth, entire scope of wealth that you can have access to, you only have 12%. So how can that be considered everything that they want in their life? And if they feel alone, probably because they've not developed community wealth. Okay, they've not built the relationships with the people who may be important. They've not built deep relationships, okay, with friends, family. So no, the rich don't have everything in their life if they have purely focused on the 1 dimension out of the 9. Okay. Yes, I will talk about the 9 dimensions of wealth in the resilience blueprint. Okay, so if there's something of interest to you, please find out how you can get yourself into the resilience blueprint 2-day program on Zoom. We have a very special deal for the first class that we're going to run for the Vietnamese. I've done this program many times in Singapore for Singapore audience. Okay, we are bringing this for the first time to Vietnam, and there's a very special investment for people for the Vietnamese. But there are only 200 seats. There are only 200 seats for the first program. So if you want to learn that, please find out how you can get onto that program, and I will see you at the program. Okay, so thank you all. Okay, thank you all for being here for the last 60 minutes. I hope that I have given insights, okay, from my perspective that have created value for you. Again, I say I don't have to be right. Okay, it is an experience I'm sharing, and I hope that in this sharing this experience, that it would have given you a different perspective or different insights to be able to then consider the things that you need to consider in your life. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for your 60 minutes. Take care of yourselves. Kampung Kid out.